start. Thank you for joining me this Saturday afternoon. So we are running. So by we, I mean I am running a basic skincare workshop for the next Saturdays, next 5 Saturdays at 2 o'clock. The whole point of this is because I'm sure most of you know that I do facials and I take facial clients, and I used to run appointments when I could before COVID. And because of this whole lockdown, a lot of my customers are asking me what they can do at home, or like, what are some simple skincare tips that I can share with them. So I decided, okay, we're just gonna run it, and it's all the money that I've collected from this goes to charity as well. Yeah. So just a quick timeline of what today's is going to be about. So we're going to do a quick introduction. You're welcome to turn your cameras on. If you don't want to, maybe just shout out your name.
We'll also be going through
skin structure and the type of skin. So it's important to know what your skin is before you even look at like skincare products, ingredients, so that you know what kind of skin, what kind of ingredients goes better with what kind of skin. Yeah. So quick introduction. It's me, Angeline. Yeah. And then we've got a few people here today. We've got Alex, Lauren, Miso, Carmen, Lydia, Tina, and we have also Joe with us today. So I saw this little quote and I thought it was hilarious, because every time the ideal is beauty is not in the face, but beauty is in the light of a heart, right? But reality is, where every time people ask me, oh, where do you get your skincare from? Why is your skin so good? And I'm always like, dude, it's all in the money. Like, you have no idea how much this face costs today, okay? So it's true. And I think if you've been with me long enough, you know that I used to spend quite a lot. I used to actually spend a lot more money on my skincare now. But now that I've learned about skin structure, skin ingredients, and how to treat my skin properly, I actually have cut down quite a lot on my skincare products, but still a better skin than I used to be. So actually, this whole session, I want to guide everyone through and teach everyone about your skin. Everyone's skin is very different. You have to tailor it, and skincare is one of those things where you have to trial and error, and sometimes it works for someone, sometimes it doesn't. Yeah. So but the thing is, we are in a group here. You're more than welcome to stop me anytime to ask about your skin, and we will try to work with your skin. Yeah. Just some purposes and expectations. So this is, like I mentioned, a 6 weeks skin workshop with an hour each week. Sometimes I might overrun just because I might talk too much, or we might have a very hearty discussion. If you're smiling, you know I tend to talk a little bit too much on things that I love talking on. There might be some homeworks here and there, just so everyone can track your skin condition from week 1 to week 6. Your skin, you might see actually an improvement over your skin over the next 6 weeks, and it is generally on a knowledge of your skin, general knowledge, and also some knowledge on artistry as well, just because this is something that the brand that I use artistry on a lot of my clients, and with there are some of them who have signed up for this workshop, but they're not here today. They would just watch the video, so they would want to learn more about artistry skincare as well. So again, feel free to stop me anytime if you have any questions. Also, feel free to leave on time if you have something on a prior engagement. All right, so a little bit about me. Bachelor of Biomedicine, Masters of Nutrition and Population Health. I teach salsa dancing, and I also run a personal beauty salon in the CBD. So in this workshop itself, you'll hear a lot about skin, but you'll actually also hear a lot about nutrition from me, just because there's just so much about your skin that reflects your inner health. Yeah. So sometimes you might get 1 or 2 recipes from me that helps with, your probiotics, prebiotics, that helps with your gut, because your gut, if it's not working well, you tend to experience breakouts and stuff like that. So you'll be hearing some recipes, you'll be hearing some nutritional advices from me in regards to your skin. Cool? Yeah? Okay.
Yep.
A bit about me. If you don't know, I used to have really bad skin. I don't know if any one of you here know. Maybe Lauren has been with me long enough to know that I didn't always have a good skin like that. Like some of you here, or like many people out there, I used to break out a lot in my forehead and all around my jawline. which I have actually a photo. So you can see in this photo, that photo is actually not very far away. That was probably in 2016, I think taken in 2016 or 2015. And I used to break out everywhere, and I used to spend so much money on skincare. I would go to a salon every 2 weeks to get injections. I used to get this thing done where they have a needle, and at the tip of the needle they have electricity. So they would actually pierce into my pimple, and they would jab like electricity through it, so that they would kill the dead cell, that they would kill the cell at that part, so that that part doesn't produce any more oil, and it doesn't, hopefully doesn't get bacteria and doesn't have a pimple anymore. And so you can imagine with a skin like that, all throughout my forehead, I would be getting about half an hour of just like piercing and jabbing and electricity for half an hour. Yeah. But a lot of the skincare treatment that I've done in the past at salons, I felt that, okay, they might have worked, but I mean, the week after it feels good, but then 2 weeks, 3 weeks later, the skin starts breaking out again. Yeah. So I just feel like it was at that point when I realized, okay, it was very important for me to really understand the deeper layer of the skin and how the skin works, so that I can actually treat it from the bottom, from the inner health, instead of just running to salons every time I get a pimple breakouts here and there. And it's also important, I think, for us to understand your skin, so that when you get a breakout, you don't freak out. So now that you might have a good skin now, and sometimes you're going through like a stressful period, or your body's not feeling well, you might start breaking out one or two, you know what's happening inside, and you know how to treat it instead of freaking out and running to the doctors straight away. So this is one thing that I really want to help everyone understand, just knowing how to take care of your skin when it turns bad. Not like now that your skin is good, we want to maintain it, but if your skin ever takes a turn and goes bad, we want to try to do whatever we can without running to the doctors, and try to treat it first. Yeah. So another two other photos is just me doing facials at my place, and the other photo is a photo of when I used to run skincare workshops back when before COVID happened. Okay. Now that we've done with the introduction, I want to run through some skin structure. This is a little bit boring, but I'll try to make it as interesting as possible, because this is all science, right? And sometimes science can be cool, but quite boring. So let's talk about skin. If you don't know, skin is an organ. It's actually an organ. It's actually the largest organ of your body. It actually weighs about 15% of your body weight. So just like your body, we have a cardiovascular system, we have a gastrointestinal system. Our skin is also a system on its own. And so the skin system includes the hair follicles, your hair, your nail, your sebaceous gland, and your sweat glands. For those who don't know what sebaceous glands are, these are your oil glands. So some people tend to have more active sebaceous gland. You would notice they will have more oilier skin. Yeah. So let's talk about the different layers of your skin. There is an epidermis, your dermis, and we call that the subcutaneous layer, or the fatty tissue, or your fat tissue. So your skin itself, right now, when you're looking at your skin, you might not have realized that they are actually consist of 3 different layers. And these three different layers has different functions and protection levels. And they're used for different purposes. Yeah. So coming from the top of your skin, we have your epidermis. It is your thin, your outer, your waterproof barrier that keeps the inside in and the outside out. Yeah. Okay. It is also the layer, if you look at the image that I've attached, it's also the layer that makes melanin. So you would see the words melanocytes, which is your melanins, which then provides your pigmentation. So sometimes you see people who have sun damages, they tend to have freckles, they tend to have hyperpigmentation from acne scars. This is the layer that is producing your melanocytes, which is your coloring of your skin. Then,
sorry,
yeah.
can I, just out of curiosity, so this is like obviously the 3 layers of the skin, but is this like a single layer? Because like that I understand that skin actually has 7 layers, right? Or like
it does. So in the epidermis is actually, sorry again.
Sorry, this is 1 layer of skin. Or this
You're
is
right, the skin has got 7 layers.
But in the epidermis, it's split into 5 different layers, and in the dermis, it's actually split into 2.
okay. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
That makes
So
sense.
let me see.
So
Actually,
like
my
more
next
general
slide.
growth like this. Right.
Yeah. So in my next slide, you will see that there's actually this epidermis is actually there's a few more layers in there, and then the dermis there's a few more layers. So you're right to say
Sorry.
that there are 7 layers.
Yeah.
But we generally split them into epidermis, dermis, and subcutaneous layer, just so that it's because that's I guess we group them according to their functions.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So after the epidermis layer, we are at the dermis layer, which provides the architecture of youth. Yeah, we say that because it has all your collagens, it has your elastin, it has whatever that makes you feel young, look young, right? It is also the layer that actually absorbs. So when you go out in the sun, and UV ray comes in, it's actually the layer that synthesize its own vitamin D in the dermis layer to help to absorb your calcium and phosphorus. So your dermis layer is actually the thickest layer out of the 3. It's actually between 1 to 5 millimeters thick. And then following your epidermis, your dermis is your subcutaneous layer, which is your fatty tissue. It might not sound very sexy, you know, we don't want a lot of fats, but actually on your face is where you want it to be because it gives you so much more support. It also helps to protect itself from, you know, chemical, bacteria, parasites, infections, all these things. It's where your fats is. It's also made up of your collagen fibers. So now that you've understand the layer of your skin, then we can look at, you know, aging skin. How does it differ between a young skin and an old skin? We can also look at the next slide, which talks about your skin cell renewal, how we can help to speed up the speed of your skin cell renewal if your skin's looking dull. So skin cell turnover. Like I mentioned earlier, your skin is an organ. Your skin will replenish itself generally in 28 days, in 4 weeks time. So sometimes when you try a new skincare, you think, I've used it for about 2 weeks, it's not working. But really your skin hasn't had the time to absorb and actually changes from the bottom to the top layer. Yeah. So sometimes when you've started on a new skincare, we try to encourage people use them for at least 4 weeks. If you're not showing, so say sensitive reactions, use them for 4 weeks before you actually see a difference on your skin. Some skincare will take longer, some skincare will take shorter, but generally 4 weeks it's what your cellular turnover is. Yeah. So you can see from the image, your skin cell turnover is your skin's natural exfoliation process, that your new skin cell will travel from the bottom of your epidermis to the top layer and it flakes away. Yeah, so you can see from your epidermis, which is your basal layer, the new cells, it will go into maturing cells, then it will become mature cells, then it will become dead cells. This process takes about 4 weeks, but again, by different age group, it goes at different rate as well. So you can see in the babies, it takes about 14 days and it's a brand new skin. Yeah. But for someone who's in their 40s or 50s, it might take up to 84 days just for the whole skin cell turnover to happen. Why do we want to increase skin cell turnover? Because sometimes your skin can look really dull. And so sometimes we encourage people to exfoliate regularly so that you can remove your dead skin. There are a few things that you can do to help to increase your skin cell turnover. One, you can look at exfoliating. Like I mentioned, there are many different kinds of exfoliating. There's chemical, there's physical, there's enzyme exfoliating. We'll touch a bit more on exfoliating in the later part of the week because it's a huge topic to learn, because exfoliating is good, but if you over exfoliate, you might also harm your skin in the long run. Yeah, because your skin doesn't have the top layer to actually protect itself, to keep the inside in and the outside out. Another way we can also encourage or increase cell turnover is to use products that contains retinoid. I'm not sure if you've heard of retinoid. It's something that just helps with removing your dead skin cells. But too much retinoid can sometimes cause you to have very flaky skin. So products such as there is a very popular skincare acne brand. I can't remember what was the brand. What was the one that you used, Alex? Do you remember the one that you were using ages ago?
That like the raw Accutane thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the name again?
Accutane or
I think it's called it's
Tretinoin?
active in Australia. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think it's called retinoid. Accutane.
It's got a few different names.
Yeah, Accutane actually contains a high amount of retinoids, which is why sometimes, people tend to think, oh, if I have really, bad skin or acne skin, I want to use Accutane. Yes, it helps you with your skin, but it contains such a high amount of retinoids that it actually thin out your epidermis, which then means your skin, people who are on Accutane tend to have very sensitive skin after they get off Accutane, just because their skin epidermis is this thick layer, they have been cut off to this thin layer, and their skin are unable to fight whatever bacteria or dust that land on their skin. So people who actually get a good skin out of using Accutane then spend a long time of their lifetime trying to fix their skin or trying to build up the skin barrier of their skin. So that's one way we can increase cellular turnover by using retinoids. Second is to use exfoliate. And the third is to use moisturizer. We will have a topic of moisturizer because you might think, okay, moisturizer is just a moisturizer, what else, right? But there's actually many different kinds of moisturizers in the market, and we want to talk about what kind of skin type uses what kind of moisturizers. Yeah, but we will cover them in the next few weeks. Today's topic, I just want to run through how your skin works so that you understand and you know your skin type, so that when I talk about products and ingredients to use that is targeted for different kind of skin types, you can pay attention to just your skin type or your mom's skin type or your girlfriend's skin type, that you know how to help them with. Yeah, okay. Let's move on. This is how your skin changes over time, a young skin and an old skin. Does anyone want to point out the obvious, like what's the difference in your young skin and your old skin?
The young skin is very like straight. The fibers underneath are very straight, whereas the other one is like wrinkly and thin. Like the young skin is quite dense as well.
Yeah, correct. So there's the sagginess in the old skin as compared to the young skin, and you can see that the fibers in the young skin is a lot more supported as compared to the old skin. So this is so the top layer that's been dented, that's your epidermis. Right now we want to talk about your dermis, which is your second layer of the skin, right? In your dermis, there is elastin, there's collagen, and there is a thing called hyaluronic acid. So I'm sure you've maybe heard of this HA, or you've heard of hyaluronic acid being thrown around here and there in skincare. We want to talk about mainly I want to talk about these three things in your dermis, because in your epidermis, there's nothing much you can do, but in your dermis, it's the architect of youth. That's where we want to target with skincare that can help it protect and support your skin a lot more. So in here, your collagen, let's talk about your collagen in your dermis. It makes up 70% of your dermis. It's responsible for giving your skin toughness and strength. So it's almost like a support system. It helps to hold it up in its shape. Sadly, when you reach 25, you will lose 1% of your collagen each year from the age of 25. That's just a fact that happens. And what happens is, if you have less collagen, it means that you just have more wrinkles because your skin are less supported. There's a typo in there. It says sun damage is raw because it's one of the biggest cause of collagen loss and wrinkles. I don't know why the word raw came, but yes, what I meant is sun damage is one of the biggest cause of collagen loss and wrinkles. So really, in collagen, if you feel like you're losing your collagen, there are a few things that you can do. Retinoids, it's also really good to help boost collagen production. Glycolic acid in skincare is also really good to help you boost your collagen production. Preventing the breaking down of collagen is the most effective anti-aging strategies. So if you want to help to keep your collagen production ongoing, you want to prevent the breakdown, wearing sunscreen is the one important thing that you have to remember. Yeah, sunscreen really helps to prevent out the UVA, UVB rays, which is why, you know, I highly encourage, even if you're just going to be indoors, sunscreen is important, because I know you're smiling, Lauren. Sunscreen is important even if you're
Probably bad
indoors.
for-
Yeah, because
What?
I was always telling her.
Alex always tells me to wear it. I'm like, no, I don't need sunscreen.
You do need sunscreen, okay? Trust me, even if you're indoor, UVA can still enter. Yeah. Okay. That's collagen. Let's talk about elastin. Elastin is what gives you the bounce. You know, when you have babies, newborn babies, and you know, put your hand in their cheeks and you take off, their skin just comes back. Yeah, straight away. Sadly, your body also stops producing elastin after you reach puberty, which is a lot faster than collagen. Yeah, so it's something that your body just learns to do. We will accept it, but you also have to know that skincare products are generally unable to improve elastin. Elastin is just however much your body produces up to your puberty, and it just doesn't helps with it. It just doesn't produce anymore. The only thing that you can do to help with your elastin is your Botox injection, sadly. Yeah. And then we move on to hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid is one of those things that you would have to see them a lot. You see them being thrown around in skincare a lot as hydrating, as moisturizer. It just is thrown around a lot. But it is what it is, thrown around so much because it's actually one of the most important things that can help to keep your dermis supple, right? So hyaluronic acid is found, 50% of them is found in your skin, and it can hold up to 1,000 times its weight in water, which is why it's so important in a lot of skincare that helps to target hydration, or a lot of anti-aging products. It helps to provide the dermis with volumes, and it also, the way it helps to provide your dermis with volume is that it draws moisture from your dermis into your epidermis to help it support it. So if you imagine your dermis and your epidermis, 2 layers, the moisture is actually drawn from here to go up to help to support it, which then means if you're looking at the old skin and the new skin in that PowerPoint, the dermis then actually becomes a lot more supportive and prevents your epidermis from sagging. And that's what HA is used for in a lot of skincare. So moving on, if you've heard so far about the collagen, elastin, and hyaluronic acid, you will know that 1, HA is really important in skincare. 2, sunscreen is super important. Yeah. Sun damage is a thing. Whether you want to accept it or not, it is a thing. There is things such as UVA, UVB, UVB, different kind of wavelength. We will touch more on sun damage in the next few weeks, just because it's such a huge topic to talk about. What does the SPF means? What does PA+++ means? How many plus do I need in Australia or indoors and stuff like that? We will touch on it. I know I see you smiling because people have no idea. People just buy sunscreen thinking they don't work, but they actually work. But you need to find the +++ or the ++. They all will make sense in the next few weeks.
To be
Okay.
fair, most of the time, like, because I use is it the Hydra? I think I'm using, no, not the Hydra V. I think I'm using the Youth Extend.
Yeah.
And like the daytime one, the daytime cream actually has SPF in it. So like, it's not like I'm going around not wearing sunscreen at all.
Yeah.
Just
It's got SPF 15.
Yeah, which is not much.
Yeah, not as much as, you know, you could go a lot higher, Lauren. Yeah.
I know, like the recommendation is 50 now, isn't it?
Correct. In Australia, I think it's also illegal to sell anything under 50. Like it actually doesn't work in Australia.
It used to
I
be
don't know.
So
It used to be 35. Sorry?
It's only changed the last few years. It used to be 30 or 35.
Yeah, it used to be 35, but I think because Australia gets such like crazy raise, so now it's actually illegal to sell anything under than 50, which is good. You know, sun damage just helps to protect the skin a lot better.
Yeah.
Is there regulations in New Zealand as to how much sunscreen has to be?
Not what I know of. I'm pretty sure that you can still buy it as low as 15, but they did a recent assessment, like our Cancer Society did a review of all of the products, and almost none of them passed, including the Cancer Society product that they sold themselves. So yeah,
Crazy.
there's a lot of poor quality products out there. So it's hard
Yeah.
to know.
Australia
And-
would probably
and-
do the same
yeah.
there. Like if they actually did like meta-analysis, I think they'd probably find pretty similar results in Australia.
Yeah, and the thing with sunscreen is that usually when they recommend, say, a bottle of sunscreen, you have to finish them in a month. People tend to not use accordingly, which then they think, okay, a
Huge,
bottle, yeah, I'll just use it for 3 months, but I'm still using sunscreen. But if you're not using them according to what is suggested, you're actually not benefiting from the sunscreen itself.
And like reapplying and stuff, and like when people go swimming, it's like you need to chuck it back on.
Yeah, correct. Like I have sunscreen on this morning, but I have makeup on, which then means I would not have any more reapplication of my sunscreen until tomorrow. So, so we'll touch on sunscreen. We'll learn about sun rays, how the UVA, UVB happens, and then, physical sunscreen and chemical sunscreen, what kind of sunscreen works. We'll talk more about it in the next few weeks. But that's something to keep in mind for. Okay. Let's move on to the different types of skin. So this is where it gets a little bit personal. You might have to look at it, listen to what I say, and try to figure out what kind of skin types you have. There are generally 5 different kinds of skin type. There's your sensitive, which then means you get inflamed, get irritated very easily. You have your oily skin, you have your normal skin, combination, and dry skin. So your skin changes over time. It's most of the time you just stay with one skin type. So you have to know skin type and skin conditions are different things. We're now just talking about skin type. Your skin, you generally just fall into one skin type, but your skin will change over time. For example, it'll get drier over age. Yeah, so generally, whatever skin type you are, as you age, your skin will just get drier and drier just because there's a loss of collagen, elastin, and hyaluronic acid. Yeah.
Is it possible to have combination? Like as in,
sorry?
Is it possible to have combination, like not just actually combination type, but like here is like sensitive and here is dry and here, like, is it possible to have that like in there, or do you like, or is it more of like you will fit into one category or another?
No, it's actually true that it's not like you can get various skin types. So like you mentioned, combination, right? So you can have a dry skin that is very acne prone. Yeah, but you can also have a dehydrated oily skin that mimics a dry skin. Yeah, so generally when people tell you, oh, what kind of skin type you are, and they show you these 5, it's a very overview kind of skin types. But everyone, like I have very oily skin, but on my dry area, I get breakouts. Like I don't get breakouts in my oily area, which is weird because most people get breakouts in their oily area, and in their dry area, they don't break out. So you can have, like my skin type itself is just combination. Like if I have to pick one of them, it's combination, but some parts of it is sensitive, some parts of it is dry or acne prone. So it's important for you to figure out what kind of skin types you are, so that when we talk about skin products, you will know what kind of products will fit your skin better. Yeah. And also this doesn't tell you the degree of your skin type. So for some people, they might have dry skin. For others, they might have very dry skin. So the different degree of how much dryness you have in your skin doesn't show up in like an overview skin type like this. So for different kind of skin types, we want to talk about normal. So I would just generalize it into normal, oily, combination, dry, and sensitive. Yeah. For people with normal skin, I've got a few friends who've got normal skin. They don't wash their face. They don't do anything. They've got the best skin in the world, which is annoying. I know. I'm sure you guys know a few people who've got, normal skin, but they just don't do anything. Generally, we say people with darker skin have got really, really beautiful skins. I don't know if you've realized, people with darker skin have very nice skin. They don't have a lot of pores. They don't have a lot of blemishes. They don't get too oily, not too dry, but they just glow every day, right? For people with dry skin, this is just some example. You will see that they just have very few imperfections. Yeah. Oily skins tend to have more breakouts. They tend to have more blemishes. The pores are usually larger and more visible just because it's a lot oilier, and it's mainly during puberty. A lot of people go through oily skin, right? Yes, it is annoying that you would get blemishes, but people with oily skin, this is a good thing for you, right? You tend to look a lot younger because your skin is oilier and it's a lot more supple. You tend to look a lot younger than your current age. So that's a good thing. People with combination skin, some parts are oily, some parts are dry. I'm sure you've known. So you might have oilier T-zone and a drier U-zone, or you might have a drier U-zone and an oilier T-zone, vice versa. That's very common. For people with dry skin, they tend to lack water. They tend to flake as well. So sometimes, you know, in the winter, I tend to find my arms gets very flaky just because it's so dry. It doesn't have enough water or oil. They don't have a lot of pores. You don't see a lot of pores just because oily people have bigger, larger pores. Drier people don't have a lot of pores, but they tend to have a lot more wrinkles and fine lines just because their skin is so dry. Yeah. So that's a good thing and bad thing about oily skin and dry skin. Another kind of skin is called sensitive skin. You might have, like I said, you might have a dry skin, but also sensitive. You might have acne skin, but sensitive. So sensitive skin is generally just an overlap with any of the other 4 skin type above. So if I move back to this, do we all know what kind of skin type we are? So I'm a combination skin. Lauren, what do you think you are?
I would have always thought I would be combination, but now I'm looking at it, I'm kind of like, I could be oily and even with a sensitive overlap. I don't know, like it's hard to, so I guess like.
Do you wake up and do you find, is your skin dry when you wake up?
It's like, I guess in that way it's combination, like it's oily in spots and it's dry in other spots. Like I'm definitely more dry through my cheeks than I am sort of through like here.
Yeah.
But it's very sensitive. Like I've got like, like, you know, like I don't know, like I can't even explain, like a blemish here just because I've been wearing my glasses so much, like looking at the camera. So I have like, and it's not, I don't know, it's not from anything. It's just from wearing the glasses and having the thing touch there. So like, I don't know, but yeah.
Yeah. I think your skin is also quite lacking in oil as well. Like it doesn't have a lot of lubricant in them. So sometimes it can feel very dry. So some, you know, you can consider using a skincare that has a little bit more like on the oilier, has some more oil, or like use moisturizer that has a little bit more towards the oilier end that can then help to keep it more lubricant.
It's one of those things too, right? Like right now it feels quite oily and like, you know, because I've been doing the skin mask every night and I like have to like fully like wash my face before like put it on because it's like the day is like very, it's oily from the day, you know, like so it's so that's why I'm kind of like, I don't know what I am anymore.
When you're out, we'll do a skin test again and you can see exactly what your skin type is. What about Alex? What kind of skin types are you?
What our little test was, but generally I'd say I'm pretty much a combo. For the most part oily, but I've got really bad dry spots usually.
A lot of Asians tend to fall under the combination skin type just genetically. A lot of Asians are in the combination skin type. Combinations are the most annoying because then your skin products has to cater to dry and oily at the same time, which then sometimes you feel like you're not really helping one thing. Like if you use too much oil, your oily side doesn't like it, but if you use too much water, it just doesn't work both ways. So combination skin needs a lot more care. But you tend to look you look younger as well just because you have oilier parts as well. What about Carmen? Do you know what your skin type is?
I'm combination because I get oily T-zones, but my chin usually is a bit dry, so are the cheeks. So yeah.
Good. What about anyone else who I can't see your face? Do you guys know what kind of skin types you are?
I think I'm combination too. Definitely. I don't know if you remember from the last time I was at your place, but like Michael was staring into my soul. Went straight in my face. It's like combination. I'm like, right.
He has a habit of doing that.
I think everyone here is like, yeah, we've all had that before.
Michael.
But yeah, it's that T-zone, very, very oily. And then I think normal on the cheeks, but then on the chin and like close to the jaw, like
Yeah.
like almost at the ear area down to like the jawline, I tend to break out there. Yeah, it's weird.
Generally, so from a nutritional point of view, usually if you experience breakouts along this area, it is not because of oily or dry, it's generally because of like hormonal. So we will touch on when we talk about acne that like your face is actually a mapping of your inner health. Is what I learned in also in nutritional school as well, that like, you know, different areas of breakouts also reflect your inner health, and generally this whole area is your hormonal. Like, so you know, your forehead, if you remember my photo of me getting a lot of pimple, my forehead generally is an indication of your digestive issue. So I reflect back, and back then I wasn't eating very well or drinking a lot of water and stuff like that, so I tend to break out. But now that I know, okay, forehead is because of digestion, I know when I don't eat well or stuff like that, I start breaking out here, or like, you know, when I get too much stress or when I don't sleep enough, pimples start breaking out at different area of your face. Yeah. So here, very hormonal. This is just hormonal, which that means you need to like internal health needs some help. So generally it's here when I see clients with this, it's not so much your skincare or your skin type, but just your inner health. We'll talk more in the next few weeks when we talk about acne. We'll talk about the hormonal acne as well. Okay, does anyone else wants to thank you. Anyone else wants to jump in and tell me what they think their skin type is? Lydia, Tina?
I think I'm basically oily skin because I'm all shiny from my forehead to the chin.
Yeah. So with people with oilier skin, let's move on to the next few slides. So I prepared a slide for your different skin type. What are the different kind of cleanses that you will need? So I wanted to just do a quick cleanser so that people can understand. So for oilier skin type, double cleansing is one thing that you should really consider doing. I don't know if you do double cleansing. Even if you don't wear makeup, double cleansing is important for people in the oily skin and the combination skin. So I know the photos aren't really good, but it says EFDC double cleansing. That's for double cleansing. So oilier people, because you have so much oil in your skin, you want to try to remove it, but you don't want to strip it off to the point where it's gone and your skin will have to produce even more oil. And then for people with oilier skin, you try to use a foaming cleanser. So like the Youth Extend, it's a foaming cleanser, which is good for you, whereas the Hydra V cleanser is more the gel cleanser. Does that make sense, Lydia?
Yes.
So for people with different kind of skin type, if you have recognized your different kind of skin type, you can look at this slides and then realize what kind of cleanser works better for you. Especially for people with oily and combination skin, double cleansing is essential. So if you don't know what double cleansing is, it's not washing your face twice. It's actually using an oil cleanser first, then using a water-based cleanser, because then they help to remove different kind of things from your face. So like Alex, we were saying earlier that combination skin, it's really hard to take care of. Yeah. So double cleansing is important for people like you and me, because even if you don't wear makeup, even if you don't put on anything, the oil loves oil will take away oil, and water will take away water. So for me, when I wash my face, I always have an oil cleanser, and then I use a water cleanser to help to remove. But for people, say Lauren, if you're more say in the drier side, you notice that, you know, creams or milk, these are the things that are quite good for people with dry skin. Yeah, so for people with very sensitive skin, sometimes we don't even encourage them to use our cleanser. We encourage them to use our makeup remover, which is quite milky base, and they can clean it because it's a very gentle cleanser for them to use. Yeah. Okay, let's move on. We know your skin type. This is your common condition. So we will talk about more conditions in the next few weeks. I just want to bring it out, common conditions, acne, hyperpigmentation, premature aging, and sensitive skin. Next few weeks, we will talk on acne, and then we'll talk about what causes them, what to do, different kind of acne, and what kind of ingredients you want to look for in skincare products that will help with your acne. And likewise for pigmentations, freckles, and all these post-acne scars as well. Yeah. Okay, moving on. Caring for your skin. We're almost at the end of the PowerPoint. Caring for your skin. The purpose of skincare is to look good, feel good, and to be resilient. Yeah. Skincare is important whether you like it or not, because it's looking after your skin, and likewise you look after your body. Your skin is an organ that we want to look after. It looks good, you feel good, and we also want to make sure that the skincare can provide your skin with the resilience that, like, if anything were to happen to your skin, when there's a dust or there's a change in environment, your skin can react, can look after your skin, can protect it. What are the expectations and reality of skincare? We want to do skincare not because we want to look like 16-year-old when we're 60. We all hope that, but it's not actually physically, possible. But we actually just want to age gracefully. We want to look our age. We want to be 40 years old and looking maybe 35, a little bit younger than our actual age. We also want to help to delay the skin aging process. Essentially, the whole point of skincare is just to help us to age gracefully. Why is it important for us to start early and save? Because if you haven't been, like me, who used to run to skincare salons every 2 weeks, you would have realized that skincare is actually, like, treatments are very expensive. Laser, microneedling, lots and lots of treatments in the clinics. They're at least, $1,000 and above, right? If you learn how to take care of your skin, and your skin can age with gracefully as with your timeline, you'll feel that you don't actually need to go and run for a lot of cosmetic surgery at the later part of your life as well. Yeah. So save on future skincare. If you know how to look after now, you don't need a lot more. I used to pay a lot for skincare, but now I've learned to look after my skin. I actually have cut down a lot of my skincare. I don't use a lot of products, but I know how to look after them properly. So this is the whole point of learning in this workshop today. Holistic factors. So other things that also affects your skin. I saw Carmen drinking water, and makes me so happy that you're drinking water while I'm talking. Water, super important for your skincare. So if you are breaking out, don't freak out. Ask yourself, have you drank enough water for the last few days? Yeah. So generally, because your skin is an organ, and just like any part of your body, your organs are made up, your cells, and cells are made up of water. Yeah. Without water, your organ will not function properly. So you need to make sure that you're drinking enough water a day. How much water? 7 to 8 glasses a day. I don't drink enough. I know that. But when I remember it and I drink, I see a big improvement in my skin as well. When you don't have enough water in your skin becomes dry, flaky. Your skin resilience also becomes a lot lower as well. So it doesn't know how to fight environmental, like sun damages. Another thing, holistic factors that affects your skin, your mindset, your stress level, your sleep. Sleeping is important. Your swollen eye, your eye bags, dark under eye circle, all this will happen if you don't get enough sleep. Your skin doesn't recover in time if you don't get enough sleep. Yeah. And then as well, nutrition. We'll touch more on nutrition, how different kind of food can affect your body. For me, I know that when I take dairy, I start breaking out almost instantly. Like I get a diarrhea, and then I get breakouts straight away. So which is why I've also cut out on dairy out of my entire life. I don't take dairy except for that 1 or 2 cheese here and there. Yeah.
Bubble tea.
So good.
What?
Your bubble tea.
My bubble tea, it's always soy milk. And if you realize, all my bubble tea is always tea based, because I don't drink milk based. See,
very good.
Bubble tea, but still looking after my skin. Then we're at the end of our slide. So just a very quick summary and discussion. I refuse to put in any summary notes just because I wanted to see if everyone wants to chip in and share a little bit about what you have learned this 40 minutes of discussion. There's no prize, but please participate, otherwise I'll look really awkward. I'll start off. The skin has got 7 layers, but they're split into 3 main layers. And they are called your epidermis, your dermis, and your subcutaneous layers. Passing the mic to Lauren. You're looking at me, I'm looking at you.
I didn't know there were like 5 types of skin. I only ever knew of 3, like normal, dry, oily, or combo. Okay, so maybe I thought there were 4, but I didn't know I didn't know that much detail on like the difference, and I didn't know like sensitive was an actual type. So yeah.
Cool. You can pass the mic to someone.
Alex.
I didn't know double cleansing was a thing.
Really? Geez, have you never double cleansed?
No, I don't usually wash my face. I've been really bad since I left New Zealand. I used to wash every day, like twice. But I'm lucky if I wash my face once a day at the moment.
Right. Maybe today you can wash your face.
Yeah.
Yeah. So double cleansing works best for people who have oily and combination skin. Yeah. Do you want to pass the mic?
Carmen.
Carmen?
Okay.
Yeah, just going along the line.
I learned about the different cleanses for different skin types. So I've done a bit of reading prior, because when I was younger I had really terrible skin as well. But I guess the whole double cleansing thing is actually quite useful to know, because like I have combination skin. Some parts are dry, so sometimes I stop myself from double cleansing because it's like doing too much. But now I learned that it's okay to double cleanse. In fact, it's actually good for your skin if you do that. Yeah.
Cool.
I'll pass it to Jill, the sex therapist.
Yes. Oh my God, I'm not, guys. I've just only spent an entire talking about sex. I mean, I'd say the SPF 50 thing. I didn't know. I mean, I use SPF 50, but I thought that was overkill. Like, I didn't think that was like the minimum. Just because when I was growing up, everything was 25. Like 15, and then it kind of like got more and more, and then like 50 just seems so much in comparison to what I grew up with.
Yeah. Agree. Cool. You want to pass the mic to any one of them?
Who else is left?
There's Tina, there's Lydia.
Oh yeah, sure. Lydia.
What I found interesting was like the different time frames for like skin replenishment. So like it will like differ from like your age and everything like that. I thought that was pretty interesting.
And you can do things to help to increase your skin turnover as well.
Yeah.
Cool. And last but not the least, Tina.
I didn't know that skin is an organ and it weighs for about 15%. Yeah, and that when you get older, your skin elasticity gets worse. And like the string, it will lose its strength.
Yeah. And there's nothing we can do about elasticity. We can do something about the collagen, we can do something about the hyaluronic acid, but elasticity is just something that would just stay. You would just lose them after you hit puberty, but there's always things that we can do to help in the dermis layer. Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you for participating. We have come to the end, but we have a homework for this week, right? So the homework for this week, which is very doable by everyone, is that you have to track how much water you drink this week. Yeah? Cool. So track how much water you drink this week and actually feel your skin if it actually changes from day one to say next week this time. See if it has changes from day 1, day 2, day 3, all the way to day 6 by the amount of water you drink. And of course, if you are tracking your water and you realize that, okay, maybe I only drink 2 glasses of water a day, try to increase them over the next few days. And we we'll have a discussion about whether this water thing can help you, because it's actually the cheapest and almost the most efficient way to help your skin with hydration, especially now that everyone in this group is between 20 or 30s. Unless you're in your 50s or 60s, water only make that much difference. But when you're in your 20s and 30s, water makes a lot more difference because your skin still has the elasticity and the collagen that helps to protect and hold up your skin. Yeah. So next week, homework for this week, we will try to all track our water level, and then we'll see if there's a difference. Cool? Yeah. Next week, we're going to talk about sun damage. Lauren, looking at you. Okay.
Don't stare at me. Don't move your eye.
Looking at you. Okay. We're also going to talk about weekly skincare, daily skincare, what to do when. We're also going to talk about we're going to touch a little bit about acne and how and what to do, what kind of ingredients to use at what stage of your acne skin that can help with your acne issues. So that wraps it for this week, unless we have any more questions. Thank you for joining me this week.
Thank you.
Bye. Keep safe. Drink water.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.